Lesson 13-8, Perimeter. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to find the perimeter of polygons and complex figures, as well as find the length of an unknown side of a polygon. Make sure you have a pencil and paper ready so you can work right along with me. We know that in order to find perimeter, you add up all the sides to a shape. So if we're given all but one side of this shape, but then they tell us how much the total perimeter is. So here they're saying the total perimeter of this shape is 54.6 meters long. We can figure out what this x equals because we know in order to find perimeter, it's all of the sides added up together equal the perimeter. So in order to find this missing side, we would add up the sides that we know, and that would look like this. We've got all of the sides added up, plus we put in the unknown x, equals 54.6 meters. So now all that's left is to add them up. So when we add up all the sides, we get 35.7 meters equals, plus x equals 54.6 meters. We can go ahead and take the units off for now while we're doing the math, and then just add the units on at the end. So now this looks like a regular equation that we've been doing where we're solving for x. So we would need to subtract 35.7 from both sides to get the x all by itself. So x equals minus 35.7, and when we subtract that, we get 18.9, and then we bring down the meters. So that's how we would use the perimeter in order to solve for a missing side. Here are the other formulas that you'll need to write down in order to complete today's lesson. That way you'll have them in your notes and you can refer to them whenever you need them. The first one is square or rhombus, and that is P equals 4S. So the S is the length of one side. So in order to find the perimeter, it's 4 times the length of a side. Then the rectangle, that would be the P, the perimeter, equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Or P equals 2 times the length plus width. A regular polygon is P equals N times S. N equals the number of congruent sides, and S is the length of one side. Make sure you have these written down. You can pause the video, write these down, and then push play for the next slide. Here we have a rectangle. I want you to figure out the perimeter and then come back and check your work against mine. So for a perimeter, we have two equal sides, which is the 5.1 and 5.1. So that will be 2 times the 5.1 plus 7.5. That will be 2 times 12.6. And then when I multiply that by 2, I get 25.2, and the units are meters. So it's 25.2. So I hope that's what you were able to get as well. Sometimes we'll have a more complex figure like this one, and how to find the perimeter here is you're going to break it down into simpler figures and then add the lengths of its actual sides. So here we've got 3 different shapes. 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to need to find out, it would be the partial perimeters here. So here we know that this is 10, so we're going to add that up. I'm going to write that over here. So we've got the 10. And then, so I've done this line. Now I need this one. It tells me it's 4 inches plus this one. Remember these 2 dashes here, right here and here, that means that these sides are congruent. So they're telling me this side is equal to this. So it will be another 4 inches, so plus 4. And now here, they gave it to me and said this part right here is 7 inches. So I add that in. this part's 3. These little dashes mean that it's congruent. So I've got 1, 2, 3 sides that are 3. So plus 3. And now this last section here, they're telling me that's congruent to these with the double dash here. So that's also 4 inches. So now I just need to add those together. And when I add them all together, I get 38. So 38 inches would be the perimeter of this shape. Now, if they hadn't given me this 7 inches right here, I could have figured out how long this section was because they told me right here is 10 inches and this section right here is 3 inches. So I would say, this is the same, so 10 minus 3, that would equal 7. So you can always use other parts of the shapes in order to figure out missing parts as well. Alright, so that is today's math lesson. Make sure you rewatch any part of the video before doing today's assignment. Make sure also that you have the notes ready so that way you have all of those formulas before you do today's work.